Hello and welcome to Business Today. And we continue our festive coverage here, bringing you insights from some of the leading companies that are, of course, looking to ride on the momentum this festive season. Joining us today, I've got Mr. Sarbvir Singh, Joint Group CEO at PB Fintech. Remember, it's India's largest online platform for insurance and lending products with two subsidiaries, both Paisabazaar and Policybazaar. Sarbvir, thanks for joining us and taking out the time.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So, PB Fintech, Sarbvir, has come such a long way, as we all know, from being a pure aggregator to, of course, now a diversified financial platform. Tell us, as we move forward, what are now going to be your key drivers for growth? What are the levers that you're focusing on?
So I think we've been on a mission now actually for 17 plus years. And the idea is that India's middle class needs to protect itself from death, disease, and disability. And as you know, right, one of the main reasons for why people sometimes fall back into poverty or have a loss of income as a family level is if there is a serious debilitating disease or if the chief wage earner has an untimely demise, etc. Now, in our country, social security is, for the middle class especially, will take some time. The government is rightly focused on providing security for the bottom of the pyramid. So we believe that this is a very, very important mission. It has only become more important as time is going by. India's middle class is growing rapidly. I think every year we have, millions of households who are emerging. So I think we are at a very, very good juncture from a business perspective where the need for protection could not be more clear. And I think we need to sort of provide that. The second very big driver for us is that India has largely become a digital country. We've completely leapfrogged the whole physical generation and gone straight to digital. And hence, everyone is starting their buying journeys online. So if you think about it, Policybazaar is standing at the crossroads of two very big drivers. One, the middle class growing and the need for protection, and secondly, the digitization. So I think that's what we are, those are the core levers, and I think they've been there, and we are really trying to drive our business on both of them.
So, since listing, we've seen revenue grow nearly sixfold, and you've described some of the key levers there that you're riding on. But talk to us how they're going to really play into sustaining this momentum, continuing to see this kind of upward trajectory on those revenue numbers.
Absolutely. So I think if you see every 3-4 years, our platforms evolve. And if I can just explain what has happened in the last, let's say, 6 years, as you said, one big change that we had brought about was to bring the comparison to a difficult product, which is a product not easy to understand, leave alone compare. So I think the first phase of Policybazaar was to ensure that customers could compare and understand the plans. The second phase was to make the buying journeys easier so that you could buy online, you could, all the various things that were required for a policy to be issued, medicals, etc., all could be done on one platform and everything was kept together. Then the third phase, I would say, was to start to, work with the industry and build customized products that were relevant for consumers, products that were solving for consumer needs, which, we have been doing now for the last many years. Then we moved on to the second part, which is service. Because, you buy an insurance policy thinking that if there is a claim, nobody really actually wants to use the policy. But if there is a claim, you want to make sure that the process is seamless because normally a claim has some anxiety associated with it, right? So the last thing you want is to be burdened with more paperwork, more processes at that time. So we worked very hard, I think, to improve the claims process and to help our customers at the time of claim. So I think these have been the steps. So from a buying platform to a, I would say, fully digital experience, now to a fully, I would say, soup to nuts, service where not only can you buy with confidence, but you can also, use the product with confidence. So I think those are the kind of things that we've been working on. The second area that we really worked on is the fact that we were largely, to some extent, more focused on the north and the west. We are based in Delhi, Gurgaon, and etc. We had a little bit of a bias or slant toward this side. We have significantly expanded our operations in the south. Now we have centers there. We've gone to the east. So now what has also happened is that we are serving customers a lot more nationally. and in the languages that they would like. So it's insurance is a local business. You have to be able to explain the policy in simple terms, and I think that's something that again is another very big thing that Policy Bazaar has done. And the last thing I would say is that you could only talk to us on phone or by video chat, etc. But we heard a lot of customers, especially in smaller cities, say that they would prefer to meet somebody. So even if they start the buying journey on the digital platform, they would like to meet somebody. And I think that physical leg is something that we've built over the last 5, 6 years. And I think that has added a new dimension and brought new customers to the franchise.
Fantastic. Thanks for talking us through some of the key points in the journey. I also want to get your perspective on the recent GST rationalization. No GST now on life and health insurance for individuals. What are you making of the move?
I think again, it's something that we have been saying for a while that insurance is an essential product. It's not a good to have thing. You must have protection, and hence I think the fact that the government has given its blessing and said that this is in tax GST exempt, which is reserved for the category of basic products. I think is a very big thing. The short term, I think the other good news that has happened is there's been a lot of discussion about insurance. Insurance is not a very discussed thing. And because of that, I think the demand has also increased on our platform. So we've had a lot more visitors than we, would normally have had. And I think that has helped again bring focus to the category and help us, drive penetration. So I think GST exemption has been very positive, and I think it's something that should play out very well over the sort of months and years ahead.
Great. How sustainable is the business model if the industry, starts to move towards lower commission structures, driven by both regulatory and competitive frameworks? Are you seeing any concerns there?
I think commission is a part of a sort of structure, right? It's not just it feels as if it's something that is somebody's taking away. See, at the end of the day, you have to spend money to acquire customers. You have to spend money to service customers, right? You have to spend money to help people when they need support, etc. Now, all of that, creating awareness. I mean, as we are advertising 12 months in a year. I mean, that investment, that's also an investment. So I think the way we look at it is that it's a part of a puzzle, right? There's a whole cycle which happens. And if what we would like, if you ask me honestly, is that as more and more people understand, have confidence in insurance, then you would actually need to invest less money to actually bring them to your platform or to convert them. And in which case, if the commissions go down or whatever, it's actually not a bad thing, right? So I don't think the absolute level of commissions is the issue. The issue always is that what is the overall system like? And we've been working on that, and I feel that the industry understands all this, and we are all working together for a common goal, and I think it's everything gets sorted out.
Okay, there's lots I can read into there because you said the industry is aligned. You said it's the overall ecosystem. Because I was going to ask you, because whether that's going to put pressure overall, but you're confident, it seems, of the volume game or the fact that as long as you're reaching enough customers, that things will kind of remain on track.
See, we are not again, just to explain, Abha. I know this is right now topic of great interest. Unfortunately, commercial matters, have to be kept confidential and are actually only meant for the two parties
Yes.
who are talking about it. But all I just want to again explain is we don't actually even sell products which have the highest commission. If you think about it, Policybazaar is a platform which sells products like health insurance, term insurance, which are actually lower ticket size products, where actually the absolute amount of earning is not there, right? So we are actually not commission driven in that sense. We are driven by the customer's requirements, and we work backwards from the customer and try to solve the problems, right? So actually, I think I get it. I know it's an emotive subject, but I think it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is to focus on making sure that consumers understand the value of insurance. And as long as that happens, I think everything else will get sorted out.
Okay, so with record levels then in health insurance renewals and increasing high cover plan adoption as well, how do you see the mix shaping up between new business and renewals over the next couple of years?
See, as you know, renewals follow a trajectory. I mean, as per the fresh business that you do, there is a certain amount of renewals that you get. I think you're referencing a report that we had put out recently where we had explained that actually renewal rates are going up in health insurance, at least on Policybazaar. because of the nature of the products, and I think people really understanding why they have to buy health insurance. As far as fresh business is concerned, that is the most important lever for our business model, because only if we get fresh customers and we sell to them will the business sustain itself, right? And I think that's something that we focus a lot on. So far, I'm happy to say that it's going well. I think we are contributing. We are amongst the highest contributors of fresh lives to the industry. We the contribution of existing people is the lowest in Policybazaar as compared to any other industry channel. So I think we are contributing in our own way to bringing fresh customers to health insurance. And I think, as you correctly said, that's the most important thing over time.
Okay. You also have plans to enter the pension vertical. Do you see that as a meaningful revenue stream?
I think so. Let me explain. See, first of all, why are we entering pension? So we've just launched our site called pensionbazaar.com, which is the idea is to try and make Pension Bazaar for pensions what Policy Bazaar is for insurance. So it's a fairly ambitious venture, I would say. The problem that we are seeing is that while India is growing younger, it is also growing older. So there are a number of people above 60, etc. Or if you look at the projection, are slated to grow very fast and actually will become a bigger and bigger portion of the overall system as time goes by. So we feel that these people need to plan for that. There is unfortunately no way for you to plan for a pension in 1 year or 2 years. You have to do it over time. So what we are seeing this as a very big opportunity. I think it will take time, the revenue, etc. It will take time to show up, and how it will show up, we will see. But it's a very big opportunity. As I said, we start from consumer problem and then we work backwards in terms of business model, etc. And the consumer problem here is that human beings are very bad at planning for long-term events, right? We feel that these things will not happen. It won't happen to me. I'll, figure it out next year. Why do I have to start today, etc. So we're trying to solve this very complex problem. And we are going to address this in a holistic way. We are going to start with NPS. We believe NPS is a very good scheme, and it's a very well structured system and at very low cost. So I think we'll start with NPS. Then we will also offer all other investment avenues, right? So it will be whether it's mutual funds, FDs, insurance, health insurance, because I think you need to have healthcare is a very big problem as you grow older, and any other assorted services that seniors citizens may need. So it's a holistic solution. We've just started. It's a small team right now, and the team is working on figuring out, what are the best ways of doing it. So very optimistic about this business, but it will take time. It's not something that's going to happen very quickly.
Okay. One area that has seen some pressure is the unsecured loan segment on the Paisabazaar front. How do you see the unsecured versus secured mix shaping up, and especially with the B2, B2C platform, PB Connect, that you're looking to scale up?
So absolutely, Abha, you're right. Unsecured credit is a slightly cyclical business. Of course, it's very important. I think there is a huge need for it, but it's a cyclical business. I think we have been working to build our secured side. So we are doing it both, as you correctly said, on the B2, B2C side with PV Connect, which is shaping up very well and is scaling quite rapidly. We are also, doing a direct to consumer offerings in secured side. It's a little bit more complex because you have to get the security and you have to get the documents, etc. Aligned. But that's fine. I think we are now very good at managing physical plus digital kind of processes. So I think that's what we are bringing to the secured side. So I think over time we would like the mix to be as equal as possible, I would say. But as I think it'll may vary depending on the year as time goes by. But the idea is to build an unsecured book both on the B2C side and on the B2B2C side.
Okay. Just a quick comment on the Bima Sugam. Sorry, we just want to get your view on just how you see that changing the landscape or impacting the landscape.
So I think, Abab, we've been always very consistent in our view. I think the opportunity in insurance is to grow the pie. The fact is that many more Indians need to be insured and they need to have more appropriate level of insurance. So we are both underinsured and we don't have enough people with insurance. So I think it's a huge opportunity. The idea of Bima Sugam, as we have understood it, is that it is going to digitize a lot of the processes in the insurance industry and offer those solutions to both consumers as well as to intermediaries and insurance stakeholders. So we really welcome this step, because I think anything that we can do to make the process of buying and using insurance simpler and easier is good for everybody. And again, we are looking forward to the launch, I think, in a few months, and I think it will help us. We have been told that there will be offerings which we can also leverage, and I think we are looking forward to it. So both at a macro level, the fact that we want to, people want to improve the insurance penetration, and I think the fact that there is thought around digitization, I think both are very good for us.
Okay, so finally, just how you're going to define success for 26-27 in terms of market share, profitability, and diversification. If you could give me just a few lines or numbers to look forward to.
Yeah, I would. I wish I could answer your question as simply as you posed it. I think for us, success is not just whether it's 27 or beyond. I think success is the number of families that we are being able to protect, that we are able to cover. So we expect every year we start with confidence and optimism that we will grow faster, we will do more things than we did in the previous year. Every year, I think we try to deepen our offering. And just to give you a sense, we are PV Fintech is getting into healthcare, where we will be setting up hospitals, which will help insured and non-insured people with sort of appropriate level of healthcare and at an affordable price. So that's one big offering that will also be launched in the next year or so. So I think we are trying to deepen our thing, trying to cover more and more people. And success for us is, the number of families that we can protect, and when something happens to them, they have insurance and they are able to, get by. So I think that's how we measure success, and we hope 27 will also be a good year for that.
I'm sure, and you have expressed interest in acquiring and operating about 3-4 new assets. Are those all going to be hospitals, or that's including hospitals?
No, those are all related to hospitals. There are no other assets that we are acquiring. And those hospitals, as I said, will come online starting from next calendar year, and we'll build out that business model. Like I said, affordable healthcare is a very, very key requirement, and that's something that we want to build out over the next.
All right. Any further details you want to give us on that vertical, Sarbvir? That's interesting. I don't know how much you've spoken on it, but go ahead.
Sure. So what we've shared is that we've set up a separate company where PB Fintech is a shareholder to the tune of about 25%, and we've raised capital, and we are now in the process of acquiring assets which we will operate. The idea is that to provide affordable healthcare again for the middle class. That's our target segment, and we want to make sure that the quality of healthcare is extremely good, top notch. But we are doing it in a manner using preventive, using technology to make sure that appropriate treatment is being given, and we are able to keep the costs down. So I think that's the broad purpose. The purpose is that healthcare has to be affordable. It's a basic requirement, and that's something we feel is a very big opportunity in India, and that's what we are focused on.
Super exciting. You've always been commended on your market share retention by investors in the market. And I think they're going to look forward to this new approach as well as some of the other exciting things you've got planned. Thank you so much for joining us today, and wishing you a very happy Diwali.
Thank you. Happy Diwali to you and your viewers as well.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.